Hello my friends, I wanted to make a video about all the tricks that timeshare companies use to get you to sign contracts and then how to screw you over. The first one they use is a bunch of slick salespeople, and they will, if it's a face-to-face presentation, the way they lure you in is with either attraction tickets if it's here in Orlando, or a prepaid Visa card, or some, $100 or something like that. Now they have places where they have people at, like, if you will be on a vacation, say in Las Vegas, and then they'll have a booth at your hotel. Let's say you're staying at Circus, and they'll pay Circus for that booth, and then they'll have a couple of people at the booth, and they tell you, hey, we get you free tickets to the attractions and blah blah blah, or the shows. All you have to do is it's a 1 hour or a 90-minute presentation, and if you don't like it, you just go get your tickets. Well, they're sunk so low now that some of them are saying, well, but we're going to give you $100 gift card and some other stuff, but you have to give us $20 for the reservation of your space because we have so many people. So, but we'll give you the $20 after the presentation. And a lot of people forget about the $20 and they don't get them. And then when you ask them at the end of the presentation, I want my $20 back, they don't know what you're talking about. Say, I don't know what you're talking about. So they'll try to tire you out and say, okay, we never heard about that, and you're not going to go all the way back to the hotel to confront the people the shysters who took your $20 at the table at your hotel at the booth. And if you go back there and you talk to them and say, no, they're supposed to give you the $20, meaning they'll blame the guys that you just left. It's a game. That they steal. There's a bunch of thieves. So now, when you get there, they'll give you the presentation and blah blah blah. Then they'll send another thing they do is that the person who greets you at the place, all of them, a lot of them are told to just tell them that you're the number one salesperson in the company, to build up your confidence and and take down the trust barrier. Tell them you're number one person in the company, that you're the best salesperson, you get the best package and blah blah blah. And next thing you know, they've taken your 3.5 hours into this presentation with this thieves, and they tell you, okay, you're ready for this, you're ready to enjoy your vacation. Of course, they're gonna quote you their highest price package, and they're gonna tell you that just today, because they're the number one salesperson in the company, they're gonna be able to give you a special promotion, and they're gonna give you a certain amount of points. Now, a lot of these people work with point systems where you purchase points, and even though, never mind, there's some of these people, they'll sell you a package for $16,000, and just to use a number, they'll tell you, and that brings with you 3,000 points with it, and you can use them anywhere in the world, on the planet. And they'll show up with a big book in front of you at the presentation, and they'll show you all these resorts, a gazillion resorts, and they'll tell you that they own those resorts. And those resorts, most of them are not owned. As a matter of fact, there's a company out there that's called Diamond Resorts, and this company, they only have like 40 some odd hotels or resorts that are quote unquote owners, which they're not. They just have a management company and a big racket going on. the management company that they choose is a not-for-profit, quote-unquote not-for-profit agency that cooks the numbers so that it shows that they have no profits, and they'll tell you right in front of you that they'll cook the numbers, and because the tax code allows for it, it's rigged for big corporations. So, and they have the interest, the controlling interest in that company, in that so-called quote-unquote management not-for-profit company that they're using to manage this 40-some-odd resorts, even though they say that they own hundreds of resorts around the planet. That's not true. What they do is they have agreements for use of certain resorts facilities and rooms and stuff like that, but during high traffic or peak seasons in these resorts, they have blackout dates, and they don't tell you about blackout dates. And they also tell you that you own this place for the rest of your life, but they don't tell you that if you miss a payment on the constantly ballooning maintenance fees, they'll move and they'll foreclose on your share of ownership of this properties like nothing happened. Now they have what they call homeowners associations or whatever like that. It's nothing more than a corporate appointed group of shysters and corporate people with a couple of homeowners, and I'm suspecting that some of these homeowners are also members of the company. So they decide they just right away move to foreclose. To foreclose on the property if you miss a payment or something like that. Now, when you're sitting at the table, they'll come up to you, and if you don't have money to give a down payment on this thing, on the $16,000. Another thing is the 3,000 points or 4,000 or whatever. Most of the time, they don't even cover 1 day for a family to stay at their resorts. Meaning their price points to stay at a location are so inflated that you can't even go for one night to stay at this resorts. Yet when you tell them that, hey, they'll tell you, you'll be able to have a week or 2 weeks based on this points every year. But when it comes time to use the points, you call the place to make a reservation and say, no, that's not enough for 1 day. So you find out that's a lie. Then they try to tell you, when you end up calling them and say, well, you can save the points for next year and you can go next year, even though they told you that it was for you could go for a week every week every year for the rest of your life, that those points were going to be enough. Then when you find that out, and then when you're at we're at the closing table, after you've been there 4 or 5 hours, they're beating you up. You're tired as hell. You're in the middle of a vacation. You were supposed to be there for an hour only. Next thing you know, you're there 5 hours. You're tired as hell. If you got kids, they're fucking restless. They're going nuts. And they know this. They prey upon this. They prey upon this. So they'll tell you, okay, let's see. We'll sell you this thing. All you need is $2,000. Oh, we don't have $2,000. We're, shit. We just came here and we put it on, we had a little bit of money and that's it. It's gone. We just have enough to eat. So let's say, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send my partner here. And my partner, since they've taken all your information and everything, so my partner has already checked your credit. We know you're going to get approved for a credit card. And with this credit card, well, by the way, this credit card is a points credit cards that gives you points on our resort. We issue in partnership with whatever credit card company. We issue this credit card, and it has a point system that the more you use it, the more points you're going to get. So what you're going to do is you're going to use this credit card for the down payment, and you're going to use the credit card for your monthly payments on the contract that you just purchased for $16,000. So as you're buying and using this credit card, it's going to give you enough points every year that you're going to be able to pay the whatever, I don't know what, $1,000 maintenance fee per year out of the points of this thing. That's the way we have it. And so just So while my partner is out there running, we're just going to find out. We're just going to run the numbers, and he's going to go for the application, the credit card. While he's out there, start signing this stuff, and he'll put a bunch of documents in front of you and just say, everything that we talked about, it's already here. We don't need to go through this contract again, and blah, blah, blah. Say, just sign here, initial here, and they go really quick, sign you a bunch of paperwork. Next thing you know, you sign away a bunch of shit believing this person that's supposed to represent this multinational company that has all this contracts and all this resorts all over the planet. And by the way, when you're already signed an initial, this fucking huge stack of paper of contracts that you sign with the shysters, then when the person comes back and say, hey, listen, they approved you for the credit card, but they didn't give us, you can't use it today, and you can't, but we don't know what the credit limit is, but you'll get it you'll get the credit card in the mail, but you can't use it for the down payment today. We're going to need you to give us a down payment out of your pocket today. And then you've already signed to say, well, it said, well, I don't have the money. And then they'll tell you, well, you've already signed the contract. You see, there's the trick. And then you can just say, fuck you, you fucking shyster piece of shit. Pull out your phone and record everything this scumbag is telling you at the moment of signing the contract. Say, no, you told me this, okay, and this is not happening. So have a nice day. Take the contract from their hands. Okay? Don't give them the contract. Just take it from their hands. Rip it off. Rip it away from their hands. So take it home and wipe your ass with it or something. But, so some people say, they get scared and say, shit, man, I signed a contract already. Okay, it's a good deal. Oh, fuck it for the rest of my life. Fuck it. So they put it on their debit card. They'll pull a few thousand out of a couple of thousand, 2,000, 1,500, whatever they're asking you for a down payment, and they'll put it as a down payment. Now, when they get home from their vacation, they go and sign. They go to what they call a back room, a quality control person, quality assurance, which is nothing more than somebody else making them sign, making them sign 3 more papers. So 3 more pieces of paper. Now, they're supposed to tell you and show you in the paper, there's a piece of paper with usually red letters on top of the regular print that tells you that you have 5 days to rescind the contract, to cancel the contract in writing, okay? Because they know that there's so much, there's such a racket, the timeshare industry, and so many thieves that the legislature in many states have allowed the consumer. But they'll hide this piece of paper. They won't give it to you. They'll only send it to you in a package for you to take home, or they'll send it through the mail. Okay, but there is a cool-off period in most states that I know to sign to rescind or cancel a contract. It's usually by writing, but you can also send them an email. But and I'm not a lawyer, but I know a lot about it, and this is not legal advice. This is just from my experience, and I've seen people get screwed over by so many of them. So basically, when you get home, what you're going to find out is that the credit card application that you submitted, while one of the salespeople went to that you were supposedly approved for, but they didn't know how much money was in there, that you couldn't use it that per specific day, but you would be able to use it. The credit card you got declined. You got declined right there on the spot. They declined you, and they lied to you about being approved, and they also lied to you, telling you that you had to make a payment of the down payment because now you had signed, you already signed a contract. Okay, so don't fall for those tactics. Now they'll one of the other things they'll do is if you have problems with them and they start, you start finding out all this shit and all this stuff, these scumbags will sometimes will tell people that hey, we have found a way to fix your problems with your contracts. When you find out that the points that you bought, that you got sold, were not enough to spend even a day at their resorts, or they have 3 million days a year that are blackout days where you can't go to these resorts, and you start finding out all the fucking lies, they'll tell you that, hey, we'll give you a special rate for you to stay at our resort. All you have to do is take a trip from whatever state you're in back to the state you were in when you're on the vacation, and we're going to sit down with you and we're going to talk about your contract. And it ends up being just another sales presentation. Well, they'll sell you another package on top of the package that you bought. It's usually a package that only lasts for so long, like 18 months or 2 years, where you can just go wherever you want to go, and wherever they go, as far as they have resorts or have allowed resorts, as long as it's not a blackout day, without needing the points or anything like that, so you can see their different resorts. It's just a teaser. And on top of using you to promote, bringing you here with your family, making spend money on and plane tickets and all this shit, and paying to stay in the resorts so you can again get sold. They'll sell you a package for like $4,000 for that only last like a year and a half or 2 years, and then it's got a number of points. They say, well, with this points now you can stay for the next 18 months or 2 years. You can stay for a whole week. So basically, they shafted you, and on top of that, they added insult to injury. And sold you again and conned you into taking another trip. And then the biggest one of them all, here's the deal. In their contract, they have armies of lawyers that design these contracts very carefully. And first of all, they'll lie to you about the maintenance fees. So the maintenance fees, they say, it's only going to be, $600 a year approximately, but don't worry about what it says in the contract right there. It says $900, but if you see, that's just an approximation. I've been here for a long time, and I know they don't go above $600. Yet when you get the first bill, it's exactly what they say. It's $900, $900, $1,000, what says in the contract, even though the contract says approximately. And every year, the maintenance fees go up. Every year. So basically, then in the contract, it says right there in the contract, that it doesn't matter what the salesperson represents to you or tells you during the sales presentation. The contract says it clearly, but nobody reads the contract because it's impossible. It's 50 fucking pages. You're fucking 5 hours here, and the salesperson told you everything that I told you is everything that's in the contract. There's no need to go over it again. Just sign here, initial here, blah blah blah. That's how they get you. So the contract says that no matter what the salesperson or the sales agency contracted to do the sales promotion, no matter what they tell you about what the terms of the contract are. What the terms of the contract are in the contract. They could actually lie. Legally, they can lie to you the whole presentation, which is exactly what they do. And they're not liable in court. I mean, for fraud or racketeering or nothing. There's just another lying salesperson. So, me personally, I think timeshare industry is one big scam. I fuck them as far as I'm concerned. I have no respect for any of them. You can get way better deals online. If you want to go to a resort, just look up what's the slow season and go during the slow season, and you get killer deals. The timeshare industry, I personally think is doomed to fail eventually, and I hope they do. I really hope they do. And they become just, regular resort places where people can just book regularly without all the shyster people selling selling this bullshit product that's nothing but a scam. So beware out there. Be careful with the timeshare, and I would suggest that you don't buy a timeshare. Just get your if you want to go travel somewhere, look it up online and get deals. All right. Good luck out there.